guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and this is the last video in the series of what I made for our Dungeons and Dragons feast. Today we're going to make the dessert, which was a delicious and super easy custard and raspberry tart. Let's go. I used my mom's microwave custard recipe, which is super simple. So what you're going to do is put 1 3/4 cup of milk into a microwave safe bowl, and then add 1/4 cup of milk to another bowl for later, and you'll see why in a minute. Then you're going to go in with 1/4 cup of Karo, which is white corn syrup, and get that nice and mixed together with a whisk or a spatula or whatever you've got. The Karo can get kind of sticky, so make sure it's fully dissolved. Then you're going to put it in the microwave for 3 minutes to scald the milk and Karo syrup. Scald is just right before boiling. In the meantime, you're going to go in with 1/2 cup of sugar into the bowl you had the 1/4 cup of milk in. You're also going to add in a pinch of salt, so about 1/4 teaspoon. Then you need to separate 3 eggs and pour the egg yolks into the bowl, and you can use the egg whites for something else later. You don't need them for this recipe. So once the 3 egg yolks are in, you're going to stir to combine until it is kind of a light yellow color. Then you're going to go in with 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, and you can see my jug is getting very, very low. We had about exactly 4 tablespoons in here, so add to the grocery list. This is what's going to help thicken the custard, so stir this together until it's a light yellow color. Then we're going to take our scalding milk and just pour a little bit into our egg mixture. This is going to help raise the temperature of the eggs a little bit slowly so that we're not going to accidentally scramble the eggs, because scrambled egg custard is not a good texture. Once it's kind of warmed up, you can add it to the whole bowl and just whisk together. Then we're going to go and put it in the microwave about a minute at a time, taking it out each time and stirring it until it's thick. It usually takes about 3 minutes, so just watch it. You'll know when it gets thick. It'll be instantaneous on kind of like that last minute. So once it's thick like this, you kind of want to mix it together to get any lumps out, and add your teaspoon of vanilla, and again just mix to combine. And now you have a very easy custard. You didn't have to use the stove or the double boiler. I love it. So then on a floured cutting board, my mom rolled out some frozen pie crust that we had thawed out, and we used a biscuit cutter to cut out our discs to add to a greased muffin tin. And you can see here she's just kind of carefully mashing it into the muffin holes and kind of crimping over the edges just to look nice and pretty. And we did use 2 pie crusts for this to get roughly 12 pies, and so we're using all the scraps and just putting it back together and rolling it out and cutting more. So don't waste the scraps. You can still use them. And then we're putting a cupcake liner on top and some baking beans, or you could put rice or whatever you've got, just to hold it down so the pie crusts don't puff up too much in the oven. So I put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes until they were just nice and golden brown. And then we took the baking beans out and set our custard, or our pie shells, onto our tray and added the custard mixture. If it gets a little lumpy because it cools down, that's okay. If you do it immediately after it's warm, it'll stay nice and smooth, but it doesn't really taste lumpy. So after that, I put in 1/2 cup of homemade forsythia flour jelly into a saucepan, and to that I added 2 tablespoons of water just to kind of let it down a little bit, and I got that up to a boil so that I had kind of a jelly syrup that I could brush over the top of our raspberries. So I poured that into just a little bowl to make it easier on myself, and then I grabbed a pastry brush or a basting brush and went to town. So I added raspberries to the top of each little pie or tart, and then I brushed over our melted jelly onto the top. This is just going to kind of give the raspberries a nice little shine and give something for the powdered sugar to stick to. Now I did make these the day ahead, and the powdered sugar definitely melts if it sits too long, so I just redid it the next day. But here's how they turned out. Everyone said they looked like a magazine recipe, so I was very, very flattered. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.